Let's get started on turning these challenges into opportunities for some truly amazing creations. First, how to create larger images with a small format printer, like the Epson 2700 or 2800 series. Second, how to use that same printer to sublimate an entire shirt, even with its size limitations. Let's dive in and turn these challenges into creative wins. You will need to make a jig to place inside your shirt. Trace the shirt on poster board or cardboard. Cut out slightly larger than your outline. Next, measure shirt from the widest section, the tallest section. We will use these measurements later. Your jig is one-time use because it will most likely pick up ink bleed from your shirt. You will not need to place butcher or copy paper inside your shirt. You will place your jig inside your shirt. Ideally, this should be taught to help you sublimate on all of the shirt. Now let's set up our design in Canva. The measurements I took earlier were 17.5 inches tall by 22 inches wide. When designing, you need to design with a bleed in order to produce all over sublimation. I added 2 inches to each measurement to make sure I allowed for the bleed. Next, I add a basic t-shirt graphic to use as a template. I try to get this as close to the t-shirt measurements as possible. This particular graphic is longer than my actual measurements. That is fine because I am going to have my images bleed off the bottom. You will delete this image from your final design. Okay, now the fun part. Design your t-shirt as you see fit. Make sure to pick a background, either a solid color or image that covers the whole canvas. If you are using an image, make sure the parts you want are inside the t-shirt template. Let's talk about why you might need to design a larger print than the largest size your small printer will generate. With an 8.5 by 14 inch maximum size, you might be finding it challenging to make tumblers or designs that require a bigger image. Using this technique will broaden the ability to produce those larger prints and open your abilities to being able to offer more to your clients. Larger prints can be almost necessary when doing larger size apparel. If you are making plus size or big shirts, you may find that 8.5 by 14 does not look as good on them because it is a small image surrounded by a lot of shirt. As a plus size person, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. It is just tacky to have an image too small and not positioned correctly on the apparel. Now that your design is finished, download it and you are ready to print. Right-click on your image. Select Open with Paint. Paint is a program included on a PC desktop and is great for this. It is free and will do the hard work of splitting the image for you. I like to see my full image, so I zoomed out to make it fit the window. Next, go to Print and Page Setup. Select your paper size. Set your margins to 0. Your computer will correct them to the smallest size allowed. Select Portrait or Landscape. Center both boxes to center the image on the page, and finally select 100% for your scaling size. Now let's take a look at in the print preview. Paint has divided the image into 6 sheets. Once you have verified everything is correct, send it to your Sublimation printer and we will get ready to assemble the sheets. Here I have changed from landscape to see if it will save any sheets. Unfortunately, this time it did not make a difference. This step is not necessary, but I do this to save on supplies. Hey guys, Jennifer with Creativity at Large. If today's video is providing value, please take time to like, comment, share, and subscribe for future content. Now we are ready to assemble the sheets. I will be using painter's tape because the heat tape did not have enough tack. You will need to use a light hand when repositioning the transfers because painter's tape will be strong enough to tear your sheets. Also, make sure no painter's tape touches your t-shirts. The tape will cause ghosting and be extremely hard to remove if it comes in contact with your fabric. This part can be a bit more challenging, especially if you are trying to do larger shirts with an all-over sublimation print. When I do a 3X adult, the sheet count for one shirt is 18 to 20 pages for the front and back. This is a total of up to 40 pages for one shirt. Be sure you have considered this before you set out to tackle that process. Also, if you are selling those, you have to consider supplies and labor. The shirt I am working with is a 4T toddler, and it will require 6 sheets front and back. As you can see, that is still challenging, and I am not a master at this yet. That's what I possible. I do have some seams. They are very small. I am not concerned about them. They are barely noticeable. Now I will turn it over and do the same thing for the back. I hope I was able to help you with your sublimating endeavors. Happy sublimating!